Hello everyone, my name is Rick van Bruggen from Neotechnology, and here we are again recording a wonderful session for the Neo4j Graph Database podcast. I'm joined today from all the way from Texas in the USA by David Meza from NASA. Hello David.
Hello, Rick. Glad to be here.
It's wonderful to have you on the podcast. Thanks for making the time.
Oh, my pleasure.
Well, it's not every day that we have, like a space related guests on the podcast, so it's particularly exciting, especially because you've done some wonderful things with Neo4j. But David, would you mind introducing yourself a little bit to our audience?
Sure. Again, my name is David Meza. I am the Chief Knowledge Architect at NASA, stationed out of Johnson Space Center in Houston. And as a Chief Knowledge Architect, my primary role is to look at the technological roadmap for our knowledge services out of our Chief Knowledge Office. And we basically, I'm looking at doing this by merging information architecture and knowledge management in such a way that can provide our users with all the tools, processes, and applications to really extract the golden nuggets of knowledge from our critical data.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. I mean, I can imagine that NASA has a lot of knowledge, so you must have a lot of interesting things that you've been working on. I read your blog post on the lessons learned database, David. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. What we was looking at doing was with our lessons learned database is that most folks, while they find lessons learned very important, and they want to make sure that they can get the lessons out of our projects and programs from the past in order to implement them into their future programs and projects. I found that most people tend not to really look through them because they find it very difficult to find information inside of the lessons learned. So I needed to find another way of looking at these lessons learned that would give users, one, a better way to search through the lessons, and two, a better way to connect the dots between lessons to try to make sure they find all the relevant lessons for what they're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. So and is that how did you get into graph databases then, or how did that connect with the wonderful world of graphs?
Well, I had recently, about 2-3 years ago, I had taken a course on social network analysis because I was really looking at how to develop expert finders within our organizations and how to make those connections between people. And when I was posed with this question from an engineer on our lessons learned and how to make it easier to find information and how to connect lessons together, it just dawned on me that a graph database, while it works for people, it should work for documents also, because they're also related in many different ways.
So you're basically looking at a graph of documentation of knowledge, basically. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct. We're taking the lessons learned, and after applying some various topic model algorithms to them, we can build relationships and connections between the documents inside of there based on the unstructured data inside the document. So, for example, by using a topic model algorithm, I can create groups of topics for each of the lessons, and they eventually correlate them together based on self-assigned categories. Uh-huh. And in doing so, I build relationships in connections and nodes and relationships between these documents.
And I read your blog post, and what struck me was that you actually use some other tools together with Neo4j as well. You use R for the topic modeling, I believe. Is that true?
That's correct. I'm a statistician at heart, and R has been one of my tools for many years. Mm-hmm. And I utilize R to do the latent error clay allocation or topic modeling algorithm against the documents. But that only gets me to the point of understanding my documents for the analyst. I needed something more for my end user as I go forward.
And that's where you also looked at things like visualization tools, I think, right? The Linkeros and that type of technology?
Correct. I haven't read through the Neo4j books to try to get as much information as I can on graph databases. There was a section in one of those books that talked about different types of visualization tools. And so I did an evaluation of various different applications, and I found Linkeros was one that really showed, at least for the end user, a very easy way to walk through the graph and the relationships as you're trying to find information.
Yeah. I mean, they're from Europe, right? They're from Paris, and we've been doing a lot of projects with them recently. Actually, it's a very nice tool set.
Definitely.
Very cool. So how many users are using the solution right now, David? Is there a big community, or is it just experimental right now?
It started off experimental just to showcase the technology and what it could do so that I could secure a little bit of budget to try to expand. But now at this point, I'm probably up to 150 to 200 different users that are utilizing the tool sets to look through the information. But I hope to, as I move forward and as I start showcasing this to some of our other centers, that I can expand this up to several thousand over the next year or so.
And that's by adding more topic models, more project information, more documents that you'll expand then, or how should I see that?
Correct. What I'm doing here is showcasing how we can utilize these types of machine learning algorithms and visualization tools against our critical data to make it easier for users to find that information. So more and more groups are coming forward and asking me to help them visualize their data based on the article that I have written there.
Cool. Well, that seamlessly sort of brings me to my last question, if you don't mind, and that's where is this going, or what's in store in the future, David? Any insights or perspectives on that?
Well, my ultimate goal, of course, is to expand how we visualize our data to our end users. So I see a fairly decent connection between Neo4j and maybe some other NoSQL databases such as MongoDB or other document databases to help two things. One, to help capture all the documentation or information in a document database, but yet to work together to build relationships in Neo4j communicating with MongoDB in such a way that it automatically creates the Node-RED relationship based on how the information is inputted into the databases.
Yeah. So that would mean, that the entire topic modeling phase would be automated, sort of, or is there something different?
Correct. It would be automated based on the fact that a user would just have to input their information or upload their information based on certain criteria. But then looking at the topic modeling algorithm and of course playing with those algorithms to try to find the best algorithm for the data in order to be able to visualize it correctly.
Super exciting, and I'm assuming that this will then get us to Mars, right?
Well, I'm hoping to at least get us the information necessary to get us to Mars a lot quicker. My goal is to get that information to our engineers and our scientists faster, because finding information is difficult, not just for NASA, but for many organizations. There's been different surveys and research analysis out there that generally takes an engineer anywhere from 8 to 13 different searches in order to find the information they want. And that takes time. I want to shorten that time frame.
That makes so much sense. I mean, it's a very popular use case for Neo4j, this graph-based search, as we call it. Whether you're talking about engineering documents or legal documents or published articles, it's a very popular use case, and I'm very excited that you guys are using it as well. So it's really cool. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're quite welcome.
And I'm hoping that maybe you're attending Graph Connect in the next couple of weeks, or.
I wish I could. It's on my bucket list of things to do.
Yeah.
I may have to wait till next year to get out there. Unfortunately, just too many other things on my plate.
I understand. Okay, cool. David, look forward to seeing you at some point, and I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's very cool, and also thank you also for writing the blog post. It's very much appreciated.
Oh, you're quite welcome. It's my pleasure, and I look forward to other topics in the future.
Thank you.